Graham. Oh, Graham. Hey, Graham. What are you doing, Graham? What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to climb up there, Graham? Oh no, you big cute, oh no. Graham! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of the video. Darren, how's it going today? Today is Wednesday, and that means we are not going to university today, and we are chilling at home instead. Today is another day of reports. Both my own, I'm going to finish my HCI report today, and I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work reformatting and restructuring the group coursework report later on in the day. I have a number of things to concentrate on. The problem being that they're all reports, so they're not necessarily fun things to do. I'm usually very good at just doing like programming all day, and I'm going to try and splice in a couple of these things, like maybe one of these things. That way I'm able to split up the day, but yet still, I'm able to split up the day, but yet still do things that are productive with my time. But yeah, so I've got about half of a HCI report to do, proofreading the HCI reports and more or less get them finished. And then got the group coursework, got to refactor the whole thing, add a couple like minor bits to each section, maybe flesh out some areas, but again minor stuff. And then some of this group work, some of this course programming stuff. So that's the plan. This morning we've already had Graham out and about. I've just put her back because I had her in my hands. I was going to do vlogging with her in my hands, and then she started nibbling me like I'd smelt of something. Which I don't know what I smell like, maybe like toothpaste or something. But either way, we're not having that. So I told her off, put her back in the cage. And I have already sorted out my daily vlog and all that kind of malarkey. It's just a case of, to be honest with you, getting into the work today. I don't think I've got much else on my to-do list to distract me, which is good. Deadline for the two programming courseworks are Friday. No, the two reports are Friday, but we're planning on getting the group project one done and ready to hand in Thursday. Likewise, I'm expecting to just have proofreading to do Friday for HCI, potentially even finish it today, if possible. We will see. Sounds like the birds outside are having a fucking fight. Jesus Christ, why are you being so noisy? Can you hear them? Oh, they are. They've shut up now. I think there's the magpies there. They're having a bit of a tussle. But yeah. Shut up! This pigeon's just chilling as well. He's like, fucking tell me about it, mate. I just want to have some sleep. People have a lot of bad words to say about pigeons, but really, like, they don't make much noise, do they? They just kind of make a noise. It's 11 o'clock. I am 1,000 words down. I've just got 500 more to add on to this one. And the thing is, the other one that I did, you have to do two for HCI. The first one that I did was, it's 11 o'clock tea break time. The first one that I did, I kind of struggled to hit the word limit to within reason. Like, it was difficult. I was trying to figure out like what to add at the end as a conclusion, like to try and flesh it out. This one, however, I'm analysing an experiment that someone did, and I'm like reviewing it and critiquing it, and I'm just tearing it to shreds. It was such a terrible experiment, and there's just like no scientific backing behind it, and that's what I'm doing basically. So I'm like, it's a psychological experiment, and I'm just being like, well, this is going to probably add up to a large amount of bias and skew to your results. Maybe you should reconsider. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock and I'm starting to be like, whoa, let's think about something else. My brain's going a bit crazy. So I'm starting to get distracted by things. So I'm thinking, come in here, have a cup of tea. Well, go take my tea back in. And then I might do a bit of programming. Might introduce the things that I want to introduce. Right, so half an hour has passed, I've finished my tea, and I'm just about to run the code with another mutant in. I cannot stress how trivial it was to add it in. That was really bloody trivial. It was literally just a case of create a class, create some tests, write the tests, bang, and then it just worked. I'm now running it now just to make sure that, like, to see how it works with actual code, see what it can generate. But it was so trivial. The thing is as well, I can make it even more trivial because I can pull quite a lot of the stuff out into the base class, so that I don't even have to implement it every time. But that was it. Well, it took less than half an hour. I'm running it through now. I've realised that it's not going to be as simple as I thought it would be to just figure out how many mutants I've just created. So I'm going to do a test run without this new one and then with the new one, so I can remember exactly how many I've got. But literally, that's ridiculous. It's just like, in my eyes, a testament to how well designed it is. Yeah, how good the architecture is in this shizzle whizzle. Oh no, I've just failed a test. God damn it, it's because I've taken that thing out, so that's now going to break things. God damn it. Let me run the test, figure out which one's failing, and then I'll get back to you. So, it was not trivial pulling out that information. Let's put it that way. I had to like make changes to the code, and then it started pulling out things that it wasn't supposed to. So, anyway, I got over it in the end, and we're just doing a full test suite. So, we're off. So I was able to pull out 33 different things, and a total of 137 possible changes. And I'm now just going to run that through on 8 threads. I was just running up 1 thread because of the other day. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty trivial to add things in. Like the next, I just did there, I added in a relatively small one, which is just trying to mess around with some logical statements. The next one is equality. I'm going to be messing around with equality symbols. And that is going to produce a proverbial shit ton. The basic one, the first one I put in was an arithmetic one. That produced 82 mutants, but produces 1,560 mutations due to the fact that it looks for a plus symbol and then tries 4 different possibilities for each and every single one it finds, and then does the same for the rest of them. So you've more or less got 4 times the amount, more or less. It's not as simple as that because of other factors that go into it. It should be slightly more than 4 times. Yeah, way more than 4 times, because each file will have multiple different ones. It's by the by. So, what else? It's running through the test. Sorry, I blind blanked there. The next one, that produces so many because there's 5 different things to look for. The next one has 6 different things to look for. It's gonna be great. I'm well excited. I believe what these numbers actually mean are this affects 82 files, and there are 1,560 different things in it. This affects 33 files. That might be true, might not be true, I don't know. I may be able to find that out now that this is off running. That's the way it does it. So, it found 33 different files and is fucking around with 137 different variants of those files. Yeah, either way. It's running now, we'll see how fast it goes. I should get back to my report, instead of pulling out statistics, but I'm going to keep a list here of like how fast this grows with effect to this. Look at how strange that is. We got to this point here, and we like half the memory we were using. That's really bizarre. I don't know what event that would have been that caused that. The process does seem to use a lot of RAM. Well, it says, well, process memory here. I'm not sure what this means by process memory, because I'm watching the RAM on the system, and it's not rising. Not by that much. Like, it's going up a bit, but I'm also writing a report on this side of the screen as well. So, like, I'm doing other things at the same time. But it doesn't seem to be rising above what it's currently at. So, I don't know why. I don't know what process memory is. Unless it's rising and other things are falling as it's rising. But system memory doesn't seem to be leaking. But process memory is. It's weird. It's still running as well in the background. I'm not sure how long ago I pressed play. Oh no, 18 minutes ago. God, I do know. Lol. Well, I believe it's about time to start wrapping down the report into a conclusion, considering that we are 250 words away from finishing. Let's have a bolt on a quick conclusion. Like, what I need to do as well after this is I need to go over both the reports I wrote and like polish them. What I normally do when I write reports is just kind of sit here, lean back in the chair and go blah, and just vomit words on the screen. And then eventually you will get to the point where you've finished, and it's much easier, I find, at the very least, much easier to go back to like review and improve something than it is to write it for the first time. So that's why I'm doing that. But it's almost 1 o'clock, so I'm going to have lunch. This is still running. It's taken 30... I think it keeps getting like lower priority on the processor, and the processor keeps like descheduling it and then putting it back in, because it must have been over 30 minutes, but this timeout thing here seems to be like, see what I mean? It's not going at the pace I'd imagine it to go, and this keeps like stunting. So I think the process is kind of going, nah, well, you're doing something else, I'm going to make this a lower priority, which is irritating for the purpose of my tests, but I don't know, maybe that is the case, maybe it's not the case. But yeah, and it's being run within Visual Studio as well. When you run it in the command line, it runs so much faster, obviously, than through Visual Studio's debuggers and stuff. But yes, we're coming to the point where it's about to finish, I believe. It took 22 minutes without this latest extension on it. The problem with this latest extension is it can produce infinite loops, so we are running into the territory where I could have timeouts catching it rather than actual test failures. So timeouts obviously take longer than test failures. There's also a buzzing noise that keeps going on, like someone's got a strimmer or something, but I can't figure out where they are. It's really irritating. I'm starting to think something must have gone wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's still running. I've had lunch. 106 minutes has passed, and it's still running, and it's crawling as well. Look, it's like really, really slow. I have no idea why. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, particularly, because I just kind of paused it and it caught with itself. Maybe one of my loops got itself a bit lost. But yeah, it seems quite strange that it just suddenly... odd, anyway. And, ladies and gentlemen, it caught some errors in my own code. I don't really know why it took so long. I think potentially one of the threads that it produced didn't stop running until I paused it and made it carry on playing again. Bizarre. Anyway, but I managed to find 10 areas, 10 spaces where my program isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is good, because up to now I haven't actually had that. I've had a 100% test coverage rating. But yeah, so this logical malarkey has caught some stuff. In theory, I now have something that I can go back through and assess my own testing. So my program's working, but it takes way too long. We'll have to figure out why at some point. Okay, I've pulled it out, put it in PowerShell. We're now going to run it, and it's on its own now in release mode. We'll see what happens. So that's now away building and doing stuff. I'm going to finish my report, and then I'll look into adding the next one on the list. Okay, here's what I think happened. Do you remember when it dipped down? I think Visual Studio caps at 2 gigabytes. So it doesn't let the process use more than 2 gigabytes. So it got to that point, it activated some kind of garbage collection, and I lost a thread. So a thread stopped running, and in that thread was a test runner, or a couple of threads, was a test runner and the compiler. So I've gone through, and because I've just seen them, there was a couple of them that were just sat idle in my processes. So I'm going through again. I've reduced the amount of logging that goes out on screen, so that should go past quicker. It should be a big thingy boost. And I have reduced, and I've removed all of the things that I believe were running because of that thing. I've closed Visual Studio, so that can't interfere in any way. And it's now about to start. There we go. Right, we're running here. So now it's only producing this much log for each one. See, this is slow. Before it's even doing anything else. Maybe I just have to reboot my computer. I don't understand why it's so slow. I mean, if this is an actual performance issue, then I'm hitting a brick wall here, aren't I? If I've only found it on the second one rather than all of them. But yeah, I saw it printing out things like test runs taking like 4 minutes to finish, and it shouldn't take longer than like a second. So that's half of the problem, I believe. I'm coming back to get my brick. If anyone remembers my brick from work, it's sticking down these magnets onto this whiteboard which has our meal plan on it. It keeps falling off the fridge, so I thought I'd weigh it down with a brick to try and stick the magnet things back on the back. Also, the sun's moving around, so I can move where the chicken is to a place where it's not in the sun. So yeah, this is an alarm. It's relatively alarming, this. Hopefully it was just a weird problem and not one that causes significant like hurt. There's no reason why I need to run this within Visual Studio anymore. So hopefully it is Visual Studio that was making it go a bit weird. Oh, critical error. Your start menu is not working. We'll try and fix this next time you sign in. The question... Oh god, it's done it again. Have I mullered my computer? Is it just dead now? Right, don't press the start menu. Come on, Atlas. Come on, don't let this pathetic little thing try and get in your way. Task Manager works fine. Does the start menu work fine? All good questions. All very, very good questions. Let's see if we can just open up PowerShell without Task Manager. Yeah, PowerShell, hello. And now can we go into... No, I don't want no. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to fix my computer at this precise moment in time. But Laura sent me a picture, which is quite funny. Wait, I'm just, please? Please? Oh, god damn it, why? Going away, right, okay. The, I don't know why my window key won't work. But so, you'll remember when I bought my car, we part chopped it in. We part chopped it in for X amount of money. And so it's come back on the website. They're going to try and sell it. We didn't think they would because it looks quite out of place on their forecourt. Like, they have mainly newer cars with less miles. Right. So it's on there now. This right here is my car. Right, oh no, let's get this critical. That there is my old car. This is surreal as fuck, right? Firstly, they're asking for £1,500 for it, which is more than I paid for it a year and a half ago, which is alarming to start with. It is definitely not worth £1,500. I feel sorry for someone. I'd let you into a little secret, which I didn't tell you beforehand. The day before I part chopped the car, the exhaust dropped. Like, you remember when a while ago I put a new rubber mount on the exhaust because the old one had just like sheared? Well, it had happened again. Somehow to my mount it had sheared and it had just fallen off. So the exhaust was kind of essentially hanging off. It was off the last like mount. It was on the floor. Well, it wasn't on the floor, but if you went over bumps it would hit the floor. So what I did, because I was part chopping it the next day and didn't have time to order the part, was I got cable tie and lifted the exhaust so that you couldn't tell that. So firstly, it's got that problem. I assume it's been MOT'd. I don't know. Either way. So they're asking for £1,500, which is £200 more than I paid for it a year and a bit ago. It's not worth that much money to start with. Secondly, right, 78,000 miles, that's correct. Very accurate. Grey cloth interior and full service history. I'm not 100% certain about that. Computer is just getting absolutely wrecked at this precise moment in time. Right, okay, so features include electric windows, check. Central locking, check. Immobiliser, I assume so. Colour coded. I don't know what that means. Metallic paint. Check. Alarm. No. Driver airbag. Check. Power assisted steering. Check. You have to press a button, but check. Alloy wheels. Check. Electric mirrors. No. Car I've got now doesn't even have electric mirrors. Oh god, that's ridiculous. So when we pot chopped it, we were told that he wasn't going to sell it, he was just kind of going to auction it for parts. Right, okay. So now it's offering it with a 3-month comprehensive parts and labour warranty. And I'm pretty certain that that car is going to need a cam belt in the next couple of 1,000 miles. So buy that car, listen, if you've got that much money just to fuck around, buy the car, rinse it, just rag it up big time, ruin it, right? The cam belt will go, and that'll be hilarious, and that is ridiculous. I mean, the only scary thing about that is I wonder how much our new car's worth. If they can ask that much for that, because I would have put that, we thought we'd be pushing it to get 750 quid for that car in the state that it's in, and with the work that it needs doing. Like, by all means, it could have a new cam belt. It could be fixed. They could have put a new alarm on it. I doubt it, but they could have. They could have fixed the exhaust as well. But there's lots of things they could have done. Either way, though, like, what's wrong with our car? Worrying about the car, and bloody computer's broken. God damn it! I'm assuming this isn't my program's fault, but it's not. Something's not going all right. I'm going back to a system restore. Not much fun at all. But yeah, I mean, like, there doesn't seem to be much wrong with the car. Fingers crossed, eh, ladies and gentlemen, fingers crossed. Well, luckily, it did an automatic system restore last night. It's like it fucking knew it was going to break, didn't it? Okay, whatever was going wrong was with the computer, not with what I was doing. I've just finished running it now, and in command line, in release mode, it ran in 27 minutes, not 2 hours, and came up with the exact same results. So that is good. We had 10 uncaught mutations, one of which was completely uncaught and others were partially caught, which means that some tests, like, it came with a number of mutations, one of them passed, one of them didn't, essentially. So you pick up one line of code, you pick it up, mutate it twice, one of them is caught by a test, one of them isn't, that's a partially caught mutation. Because I guess it's a partially caught mutant, not a partially caught mutation. Anyway, that's good. So, I can now think about, so how much has that added on? That's added on about 10 minutes to do this bit. I think, in release mode it used to take about 16 minutes, I think, if I remember rightly. And also I'm literally writing my concluding paragraph here. It's taken me a lot longer than I was expecting because my computer broke. And it's nap time, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to head on over to bed now. What's gone on since thingied? I finished off the report, glanced at some group coursework stuff, but otherwise I've slacked off that. I shouldn't really slacked off of it, but I have done. There's enough of us there tomorrow to sort it out. So there's that. Other words, we had dinner and watched some TV, and that's about it.